Sure enough, night before a road trip, we get some fresh snow. You can see by the pictures of the ladder that the snowflakes are holding hand in hand, just hanging on, trying to hang on there. Same for the trees. So you got to dig out from your driveway, then dig out your neighborhood, get out of your neighborhood, then get out to the highway and get out of town. Because all of town will be trying to dig out, and people will start getting stuck by intersections. So let me show you the journey for the first 8-10 miles to get out of Fairbanks, out past Ester. Then we'll get on the highway, and then we have different issues along the highway. But first, you gotta just get out of town.
Just a regular road trip in the winter. Gotta shovel your car out, brush it off, get on the road. That's why I appreciate the driving down south. It's pretty darn easy. But this is what we do for hockey tournaments or to go see relatives at holiday season. Mother Nature comes in and gives us a dump, shovel out, and get on going. We'll see you on down the road. So this has been shoveled. This has been plowed once. The plow came through during the snowstorm. We've had 8 to 10 inches. Got a little light stuff coming down now, but this is basically plowed out once, and this is a day's worth of accumulation. So we're gonna brush the car off, check the fluids, and we'll get on down the road.
Okay, here we're getting ready to get going for the day. We started the car, let it warm up. The car is plugged in overnight for 1 hour for every 10 degrees below zero. We tend to use a timer, so it starts up every day. So we know that it's plugged in and heated before we come out in the morning. But we start it up, let everything come up to temperature, assess, see where we have problems, ice, whatever. Main thing is brush from the top down and make sure to clean out the air intakes right by the windshield wipers, by the base of the windshield. Otherwise, you'll tend to fog up on the inside, not getting fresh air. So here we go, start brushing it off and start our day. After brushing that sugary snow off, it's now time to scrape the windshield and the side window. Here's a view as we drive down our driveway, seeing all the fresh snow. And then we'll drive out from our neighborhood road and see how the intersections are along the way. This is where our driveway comes down and meets our neighborhood road, and then we're going to get on the neighborhood road and head out towards some of our larger roads. Now, when we have events like this, our state Department of Transportation plows out quite a few roads, but the highways are the top priority. Access to the hospital is the top priority, and then we have secondary and third level roads that they get back to as the time permits. But the main thing is opening up access to the hospital and to the main roads in the area, and then they get to neighborhoods or connector roads later. The real tough part is usually if people do some plowing, that they leave berms at the intersections. So you tend to find people get a lot of times stuck at intersections. Either they didn't see the berm because of flat light, whatever. This here is our connector road that they haven't plowed yet as well. We tend to have to see the tree that's leaning. We tend to have trees that fall on this road. Our power company is clearing some of the right of way down here as well, just because of those problem trees that hit into power lines and then cause power outages. Well, the tough part is when you don't have power, then your house a lot of times doesn't have heat. So then after so many hours, the house starts chilling down and start having pipes freeze, things like that. So it's all a chain reaction. And so it's good to be home, take care of your house, keep track of it, keep track of the trees, the access. Another good habit people do is they have somebody watch their house. If you're going to be gone for a significant amount of time, you have somebody maybe stay at your house and make sure everything's working. If not, the next solution is to have somebody check on your house. So they come by and check it every day or so, or they keep track if the power outages are going out or whatever. They go by and check the house for temperature and make sure things are working. Sometimes the power gets turned off and gets turned back on, but some of the new devices don't always reset well, so sometimes you have to reset the electronics. So that's a little bit of what life is like here. Here we're getting to a larger road and some more traffic. So when my kids were teenagers, a lot of times they'd get asked to house sit for people, and you shovel it out, keep it clean. But my daughter was house sitting for it was going to be like a 2-month house sit, and her second week there, all of a sudden the house got really cold, got down to 42 degrees inside. Well, it had run out of fuel. Their autofill didn't happen, and it didn't get up there with the truck to fill up the fuel. So we had to take some 5-gallon cans and carry a bunch of heating oil over there and get it going again, heat up the house. But when the cats are all snuggling up to you in the bed, then you kind of know that there's a heat problem. But those are some experiences in Fairbanks. Here we're pulling into Ester, going to get some fuel once we get through this intersection. A little flat light and kind of some piled up snow. So you can see daylight's coming up, but it's starting to also get some flat light. So it's hard to see the turnoff in the driveway. Get down in here, top off some fuel. Why do we want to travel with a full tank of fuel? Because you never know where you're going to be stuck. And that gives you longer time for heat or to be waiting around if you're helping out an accident, or that way you're not pinched for fuel. So tend to fill up whenever we can, make sure we got a full tank of fuel. And here we are trying to go back out onto the highway. I had to clear some ice off the windshield wipers. Figured now's a good time rather than out on the highway. And then we'll start heading on down the road. With the snow and road conditions, that took us about a half hour to go from our house, probably 10 miles out to Ester, get out of the neighborhoods, out of the subdivision, and then we're now about ready to get out on the highway. As always, traveling in the winter, pack your Arctic gear, pack some food supplies, have some fuel, then you're well prepared for whatever Mother Nature brings you. And like my dad would always say, whether you're traveling in the car or flying in a small airplane, dress like you're going to have to walk back. So have the clothes with you. And it's amazing what some of our tow truck drivers tell us, that they go out and pick people up that have just house slippers on or something like that. So use common sense. Keep dressed, be prepared, travel safe. Here we're traveling south on the Parks Highway from Ester down towards Nenana, and the plows have made a pass, 2 passes through, so that's pretty nice. There's some traffic out here on the road. Main thing is you have to always keep in mind you have the wilderness, you have the wildlife, and so a moose could be coming out any time around any corner. Moose could come out and cross the road. Moose sometimes can also fall down while they're crossing the road, so then you're trying to navigate the car, the moose is trying to stand up, sometimes they can't. So that's the challenges of winter driving, and try to travel during daylight, which we are, because we're 8 days from the shortest day of the year. This is our video trying to go down the Parks Highway to Wasilla. We have another video of our attempt of trying to come back, so try to check that one out. Let us know in your comments, like and subscribe, whether you like the Alaska footage or whether anybody likes some of the footage we did outside, where we drive a 40-year-old car that I took my driver's test in to all lower 48 states. 40-year-old car brings some adventure and some challenges, but we're also trying to see the differences out there in the other states. And remember, this is Alaska Road Trippers, and we'll be seeing you on down the road.